Good morning and welcome to the Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Pick up any book of psychology, talk to any doctor or a religious leader, talk to a life coach, talk to any mentor. And each one of them, without exception, comes up with a very apparently sane advice. Stay cool, stay calm, stay composed. But is it really so? Is staying cool and calm and composed really good? Sometimes yes, and quite possibly sometimes no. Saying I'm fine when you are not fine can have some serious consequences. And I know it. People come to me and ask me how I'm feeling, and I say I'm feeling great, I'm feeling fine. I could not be better. But at that time, I'm really not feeling fine. So I am being hypocritical. According to the life coaches and mentors and the religious leaders and the do-gooders of society, I am being brave. I am taking things with equanimity. In reality, I am suppressing and masking my pain, my trouble. As a matter of fact, it adds in the depletion of energy at times. It does support at times. I don't deny it. But it also depletes the energy. For the simple reason, when you are saying you are feeling fine, you have to keep a stiff upper lip. You have got to show that you are in the command when you are actually not in the command. And then you say, I'm fine when you are not. You know that you should say otherwise, but you don't want to say it because you want to be brave. Being fine is related to the virtue of composure, the virtue of keeping cool, collectiveness. And it's out of range as far the human values are concerned. When the people say I'm fine, basically, they are trying to put off. And not that it's bad. As a matter of fact, there are two types of people who come to me and they say, how are you? And I say, I'm fine to some who I know are just asking for the sake of asking. But the real friends, the real well-wishers, the people who really matter, I tell them, look here, I'm feeling lousy. And that lets us steam off. When I get up in the morning, my wife says, how are you feeling now? You spent a sleepless night. I say, no. And I say, I'm bad. I don't want to burden her. When the friends come and ask me how you are great, and I say, well, not too good. It's not that I'm burdening off, it's that I'm sharing. And this sharing is a part of mindfulness. Composure, being cool, being composed is aspirational. And the society expects you to be cool when you should not be cool. This was one thing I was talking of the illness. Suppose some bully comes up and starts bullying you and you keep cool, there'll be two reasons. One, the bully, if he is really a bully, might take it as a sort of victory and he might temporarily leave you, but you have bolstered his ego and he would be a bully to the other people. Or in your case, he might adopt a still more hectoring tone because he thinks that you are afraid, you are a coward, you can take things down, he can use you as a mat and walk over you. This sense of victory enhances his aggressive attitude. He might start as a passive aggressive and becomes an active aggressive. And that is something extremely, extremely dangerous. So keeping cool can be bad. I don't say, as I said in the beginning, it is great quality to keep cool. But to keep cool when you should not keep is bad for your health. Secondly, when you keep cool, you suppress your emotions. It's like a pressure cooker which is clogged. And if the steam doesn't get out, the result would be the pressure cooker would explode. It's like an earthquake. The tectonic plates of your body and your brain, you try to control them, and the more you control them, the more likelihood is of their colliding and causing an earthquake of psychology, of your brain, of your mind, and you might burst. You might have seen people, especially women, they suffer a lot. They tolerate a lot. And one day they burst out and people say, wow, how could she be like that? She's not like that. People expect that the person who has been treated as a doormat will keep on being a doormat. And that's not there. Even a worm turns. But why permit yourself to be a worm? That's the point. So the best thing is when the people say, when the teachers say composure is your talent, and it should not be. It's a mask. It's a camouflage. It's a cover. It's a hijab of your feeling. You don't want people to show it. Now, what is physical pain? Coming back to that, there are three parts where you can keep composure. Either when you're insulted, you're derided, or you're in pain. These are the situations. So when you experience physical pain, it's an interaction between the body, mind, and the culture. You'll be amazed when I talk of culture, but then the three things are inextricably entwined. By culture, what I mean? A guy like me brought up in the public school education was always taught to keep a stiff upper lip and not show the wounds. It's like Coriolanus telling people in Shakespeare, I don't show my wound for the crows to peck at. If you are pained, you keep the pain to yourself. If you are happy, you keep the happiness to yourself. And I know this is there. My grandson, younger grandson, he was 5 years old, and it shows the elder brother, who was about 1.5 years older than him. Don't show your tears to anybody. Grandpa was saying, tears are your precious commodity, don't show them. Why not? I told him that. I said, in my time, maybe it was okay, but no. Should release your emotions. Catharsis should take place. Purgation should take place. If you keep them bottled up, you ruin. So, the culture, the way you have been brought up, your body and the mind interact. And pain is always real, undeniable. But now when I talk of pain, I talk of both the pains, physical pain and psychological pain. But how you experience the pain is subjective. And that changes over time according to the meaning you give it. And that can be given by personal experience, by gender, by race, by social expectations that cause us to refuse to acknowledge pain altogether. Excuse me. When it comes to physical health, keeping composed can be split into two categories. One is stiff upper lip, encouraging you to lift your chin. Be proud that nobody can see inside you. And that is shut. The other end is encouragement. Yes, I'm having pain, but okay, I'll carry it. That's attitude. Express it, acknowledge it, and then say, I'll fight it out. And that's what I do. And that's what mindfulness technique is. First, you be aware and accept. And don't hide it, but then okay. Some people have no concern whether I have pain or not. When you are suffering, it's your suffering. Nobody else is suffering. So, when you express it, it will relieve a part of the pain. A couple of friends came to me day before yesterday, and I was talking to them. And when they left, my wife remarked that I was looking much better. We did not discuss my pain, we discussed other things, and that took away the edge. So, maintaining extreme composure to the extent that you ignore your emotions, that you ignore the needs, that you compromise your physical and your mental health is bad. I was reading a book, it's not always depression, by Hilary Handel. And Hilary is a psychotherapist, and she writes that what happens is we block and push down emotional energy by changing our breathing. And that's why people under stress get tense and develop back pain. So if you hide your emotions, if you stay composed, it's going to reflect in some physical pain extra. So we have, when we want to suppress our natural primal emotions, emotions are not developed. They are there. They are part of our psyche. So blocking one emotion contributes to the symptom of anxiety, depression, and many times even addiction. I'm very fond of the Greek civilization because that is akin to Indian civilization, the culture. But the Stoic beliefs define very clearly. There's a belief system that informs one's attitude with inherent potential for internal resistance and conflict. Now, that is what is required. You have to resist the emotion internally, and that means need is there, express it and drain it out. It's like acid. You keep it within you and it will corrode you. Throw it out and save yourself. People who cannot distinguish between the things that you can control and you cannot control. Focus only on the things you can control. And that is helpful. Say if you are having a psychological problem or a physical, then you can't control it. If you can control it, you control it. If you can't control it, then emotional control is required, not suppression. And that is where allopathy fails. Allopathic medication believes in symptomatic relief and suppression. And that is not the real treatment. So, when you say, I'm fine, I'm composed, I'm poised, then you become entrenched into a persona, which is a vicious cycle of having to be what you are really not. You want to be a stoic when you are not a stoic. Being a stoic requires a lot of work and a lot of discipline. All of a sudden, at the 30 years of age, somebody says, well, look, try to look composed. You do it. But that you are doing by suppressing yourself. To some people, keeping a stiff upper lip, being composed, is a second nature. And it becomes internally acceptable. That's okay. But if it's not internally acceptable, then it's something which is like a cover of a wound which will not cure the wound but convert it into cancer. As a matter of fact, those people who are like on the TV shows or the movies, they temporarily lose control, all the restraints, and shout, throw their hands up, scream. And their abandoned composure makes them feel free. I'm not saying do it, but what I was saying was rationalize your composure. Be selective. Don't make it something as a mask. Use it to sublimate your emotions or your feelings. None of us can be fine all the time. Honestly, vulnerability is always there. So maintain your composure, but let it leak with your emotion. And you would find that composure is a strength. It's a talent. But any talent used indiscriminately can be harmful. So try to be composed and calm, but not always. Pick and choose. Don't make your mask a mask of iron which cannot be removed. Remove the mask, live as a human being, and you would feel better. Thank you.